Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to go over appreciating the world around you through photography. Coming up.
I've got a ton of gravel in my shoes, world on my shoulders, a heart full of blues, I'm in the dirt.
There's potentially no worse feeling than feeling stuck where you are. Now, if you're like me and you live in the desert, there's not an awful lot that goes on out here. You got dust devils, tumbleweeds, dirt as far as the eye can see. Now, in the wintertime, it gets kind of pretty because we get a little bit of rain, which makes the weeds grow really nice. Now, the weeds off in the distance, closer to the mountains, they make the whole ground look beautiful. You don't know that they're weeds. You just see greenery, and that's awesome. Now, you might not be able to get away from where you feel like you're stuck from. Maybe you bought a house or you rented someplace and you're stuck wherever it is because of a job or because of family or because you can't sell your house. Whatever it is, you feel stuck. Have you ever seen a brochure and you said, oh man, I gotta go to that place. That place looks awesome. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's green, it's lush. They got a beautiful pool that looks like it's the size of an Olympic stadium. And then you get there and it's not green at all. And you see that everything that was green was fake, or that the pool that looked gigantic is actually the size of a kiddie pool. This is the power of perspective, and this is something that you can use to your advantage. But one of the things about being a photographer is that you start to see the world differently. You see it from a different perspective, literally and figuratively. Things that used to bother you don't bother you anymore. You see them kind of as an artistic thing. I remember once going through Boston taking photos with my brother back before they were digital anything. So it was 35mm manual film camera. So nice. And I remember thinking I wasn't a good photographer, but I could see things for whatever reason that were beautiful. It wasn't a big mural, it wasn't anything obvious, but it was just seeing things differently. That is the important thing about your life. As an example, this year we lost half of our apricot tree. Literally, half of the tree fell off. That's where it used to be. That's where it's not anymore. So instead of taking and saying, oh man, the half of the tree, I don't want to look out there, it looks disgusting, it's gross. Instead of doing that, focus in and maybe just take a look at this part, right? It's not as bad. You wouldn't even know that half of the tree is gone. So learn how to focus in on this kind of thing and appreciate the small things that you do have instead of the things that you don't. Now, seeing things differently happens up here. There's 1.5 million quotes that tell you how to see things differently. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you deal with it. If life gives you lemons. And the art of photography lets you put that thought process to work. Because it's one thing to read these quotes and be inspired by them, but you can only read so much and say, yeah, that's right. I just have to deal with things differently. It's another thing to actually put it into play. One of the things that you have to know is not just what to shoot or where to shoot, but also when to shoot. There's this thing called golden hour that photographers long for. We wish that it would just last all day. Golden hour is that hour before sunset and that hour after sunrise. It's when the sun is low in the horizon and the shadows get elongated and you get that nice golden glow, hence golden hour. We're not even talking pictures here. It's just about appreciating your surroundings so you can live happier. Because I get it. When you feel stuck, you don't feel good. You feel like a prisoner. You say, oh, I wish that I was living over there. I wish that I could be on the top of Mount Everest. I wish that I could be in Washington. It's so much greener over there. I wish I could live inside Disneyland. Wherever it is that you want to be, if you're not there, it can make us feel miserable. So appreciating your surroundings is the biggest thing that you can do to change up here and to take better pictures. What you have to do is find those spots that make you happy. And one of the things that might help, and it might seem silly, is that framing thing that you see in movies. And the reason for this is because instead of seeing the whole of everything, all that dust and dirt and tumbleweed that you see outside your window, then you're focusing on just a small portion of the world around you. You don't have to do it. It's just something that might help. Because if I look at those mountaintops, by not seeing the things around it, I'm able to appreciate what it is I'm looking for. Take, for example, this fence right here. That might be something that bothers people. But things like that fence, just laying up there, you might say, ugh, I just wish it was just the tree. I just like nature. But there's something artistic about that shot. Anyway, you see things through the eyes of a photographer, through the eyes of a lens, and then when you're not even taking a photo, things are so much more beautiful. They're more grand. They're more inspiring. They're just, you know what I mean? You gain an appreciation for the world because you're showing other people what inspires you. So you get in touch with what inspires you and what motivates you. So today's a quick one, nothing too grandiose. It's a small thing, but it makes such a huge difference. And not just photography. This is not a channel about photography. This is a channel about life and using photography to better your life. So get out there and practice. Show me those photos. Don't forget, upload your photos this week on Friday to Instagram, #PhotoHeal. Remember, good is subjective, so good to you is great. Now with the holidays in full swing, tomorrow we're gonna go over gift ideas for the photographer in your life. Even if it's you. All right, you know I'm gonna say it. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if this is your kind of thing. And until next time, be good to each other. Even if it's one little tiny focus point and it's a fly. Talking to each other.